ADD in college. ADD manifests itself most readily in college in several key ways. We have difficulty sustaining attention or paying attention, particularly in class and with boring subjects. However, the more interesting the topic to us, the more stimulated our brains become, the more we're able to focus and even hyperfocus, or kicking our minds into high gear. We have difficulty paying attention to details such as in proofreading, formulas, and error checking. Often we can focus on the big picture, but in the little picture, the devil really is in the details. Try as we might, we tend to make careless errors on math and science exams. We lose things often, particularly keys, supplies, important papers. This tends to be a vicious cycle too. The more we're stressed or distracted, the more we lose things, and the more we lose things, the more stressed or distracted we become, making it even easier to lose things. We're very easily distracted. We forget what to do, even the important things. Despite alarms, reminders, and flags hitting us in the face, we often appear to have early onset senility, forgetting names, dates, appointments, and ideas from one instant to the next. For myself, it's quite common to run to my kitchen or bedroom for something, only to completely forget what I wanted to get by the time I get there. We react impulsively or impatiently. We might blurt out, pick me, or just blurt out answers and not wait our turn. We have very poor planning and time management. Try as we might, we can't budget our time well or determine how long it'll take to do things. We have huge difficulty with multiple step operations. Breaking things down into smaller pieces or figuring out how to do something step by step, such as a complex project, languages, and computer programming, often boggles our brains. Once we get the component pieces, we're fine, but getting there is often a big challenge. We have difficulty reading ourselves. We tend to be hypercritical and perfectionists. This doesn't mean we're straight-A students or need to be, but it means we often feel stuck and unable to get going. We don't know where to begin or how to, or think the direction we're heading in is crap, and so instead we've got no place to go at all. We often feel overwhelmed. At times like this, our brains lock down and we can't even remember our names. This happened in my first accounting quiz. Though I'd tutored other students, once I saw the timer counting down on my computer screen, I froze up, completely bombing the quiz. Our physical environment is often a physical manifestation of our jumbled minds. If our brains feel scrambled with 20 stations playing at once, that's typically what our rooms will look like too. Though we're sharp as tacks, we often make terrible decisions. We're just far too impulsive. We often don't think things through or look at the ramifications. Heck, I just finished my math work. Of course I can go to the party. Whoops, forgot about that chemistry test in the morning. Or the fact I'm on probation for getting caught drunk by security. Uh-oh. We wait until the last minute to get things done. It tends to go beyond procrastination. Since our minds need stimulation in order to get things done, we often don't function well until deadlines are frightfully close. Then our adrenaline kicks in, our minds open up, and we can focus and get things done. We appear thoughtless and unconcerned, which is just the fact that we're stuck thinking about something else. In reality, we often care and empathize more than others. After all, we know what it's like to be hurting and feeling down. Given a choice between A and B, we always choose C. ADD Challenge. Chemistry. As an ADDer, advanced chemistry kicked my butt. I could understand the concepts quite easily. I could even derive the equations in my head. But what I couldn't do is keep one equation straight from another. Unless I re-derived everything for a test, I'd take step 1 and 2 from one equation, 3 and 4 from another, and 5 and 6 from yet another. This was fantastic creativity, but in a question on acids and bases, my answers would instead be about a parallel universe or a new form of a slime mold or something. Sure, this might be great for inventing the sticky note with 3M, but it sure didn't go over well with my chemistry professors. ADD Challenge. The typical ADD pattern in college. As ADDers, we tend to start our classes out very strong. At this point, they're new and exciting to us. This newness stimulates our brains and helps us to focus. Unsure about the professor or class, we fight like crazy to get to class on time and do our best. But over time, we find it's okay if we're a little late, and it's okay if we do a little less than our best. Soon we begin to slide. Perhaps we even miss a class. But whoops, maybe that was a quiz day. Or maybe a paper was due that day. Embarrassed at the quiz we didn't take or the paper we didn't turn in, we might deliberately skip the next class to save face. As the newness and excitement fade, and as the dread and fear pile up, we start to go from open minds ready to overcome any challenge to being overwhelmed and having clamped shut minds. Picture a closed clam. We're no longer accepting any input at this point. At this point, we're in a nosedive. It's quite common for ADD students to pull straight A's till halfway through the semester, only to fail each and every class within the next 2 months. To being overwhelmed and shutting down. At this point, we're in a fatal nosedive. It's quite common for ADD students to pull straight A's halfway through the semester in all of our classes, only to fail each and every class within the next 2 months. Alright, now that I've scared you with all of the above, if you're still listening to this audiobook, let's look at some of the advantages of ADD. Energy. If we have hyperactivity and we take care of ourselves, we have an almost endless supply of energy. It's rare we're not very intelligent. Once we find ways to open our minds and tap into these gifts, we tend to shine in brilliance. Empathy. If we can find ways to focus on others, we tend to be loved for our empathy and huge hearts. Once we tap into this resource, it's rare we run out of energy to give and help others. Creativity. Many of the world's greatest artists, musicians, philosophers, actors, and inventors had ADD. We are the creative souls in the world, the ones meant to change the world for the better, beautify its existence, and find new and better ways to do just about everything. I like to say we think so far out of the box we can't even see the box. Hyperfocus. Need 10 times the work done in 1/10 the time? Better call an ADDer. If it's interesting and we're stimulating, our hyperfocus allows us to work far beyond that mere mortals are capable of. We can block out all distractions, forget about time, food, energy, or whatever else, and perform miracles. We're fast thinkers. I like to say we have Ferrari minds in a school bus world. We're processing 10 things at once, or one thing in 1/10 of the time. This gives us an amazing ability to problem solve and work under extreme pressure. We're often amazing multitaskers. Since our brains must be stimulated in order to focus, we often find it easier to do many things at once rather than only one thing at a time. We're highly intuitive. Maybe it's our fast thinking and ability to see out of the box, but we can often tell what's going to happen next as if we're seeing it before it even happens. In short, ADD advantages include energy, creativity, intuition, empathy, hyperfocusing, multitasking, brilliance, care, compassion, concern, enthusiasm, heartwarming, we're team leaders, and have big picture minds. Do what you love, find your passion, and never let go. Many symptoms of ADD go away when we are doing what we love. At times like this, our minds open up, allowing us to bring out the best that's within. We can focus, concentrate, see many steps ahead. Our intuition or gut kicks in, and as if we're in the zone and can do no wrong. We're energized, motivated, enthused, and brilliant. Don't let anyone dissuade you from a major career or class of interest. As the expression goes, if you do what you love, the money will follow. We're the lovers, the dreamers, the artisans, and craftsmen. We must follow our hearts and follow our passions. If we do this, success is sure to follow. Of course, it's also the case that when we do what we love, what was once work now becomes play. A boring subject is always work. A fun subject is a joy and a privilege. It's hard to attend a boring class, but you're eager and early for one that's fun. Just another reason to do what you love. I'm sure you can see many of the positive and negative traits in yourself. Don't sweat the negatives. That's what this audiobook is for, and we'll work on them together. They can each be overcome with the tools and techniques in this audiobook. And the great news is that once you learn how to overcome these challenges and manage your ADD in college, you're likely to become a tremendous success. It really is a gift in disguise, one for which you'll thank yourself for in the long run.